what is Andy Reid telling his team this week before championship game? What is he like leading up to the big game?
What he's doing is, if I know Andy Reid well, and I think I do.
Yes, you do.
He's telling his guys on defense, he's challenging them. He's going to tell them, like, hey, man, they got a guy over there by the name of Josh Allen, right? And he's dominating, right? He's going to step up to the challenge and make plays, force turnovers, things like that, make it tough for him. And then on the offensive side, he's going to make a bigger challenge. He's going to tell Patrick Mahomes, hey, who's the bigger dog in the AFC, right? Who's the better offense? They got Stephon Diggs. We got Tyreek Hill. We got Travis Kelce. He's going to find a way to motivate his guys and get them to compete at the highest level. So that's something Andy Reid's always been big at.
So are you saying he's walking around with a little bit of the needle? Is that what he's saying? He's needling these guys a little bit?
You know what? People don't know about Coach Reid, man, but he loves to get his guys going, to compete, to get them going and go on there and let's see who has a bigger day. He always talks about that all the time.
How do you do that with you?
I mean, any times like we would play different teams and are you the best running back in the NFL? Are you? Like stuff like that. To get me going. I remember times we're in the game, right? I have a pretty good day, probably like third quarter, up. He's like, hey, are you done? That's it? That's all you got? So he's always finding ways to motivate his players.
Really? And so the first time he did that to you, did you think he was like trolling you in a way, or how did you take it the first time he ever did something like that?
Oh man, it's like him. Coach Reid is like he's one of my favorite coaches of all time. One thing about him, he always has the players back. So it comes from a good place. He's having fun with it. He has a bigger personality with the media knows and what he shows. So I knew he's always just messing with me, joking with me.
I love that. I mean, he shows it a little bit sometimes, but he usually only is talking about food. You know what I mean? Like that's usually the time when he's showing all that.
He's big on the burgers.
No doubt about that. LeSean McCoy right here on the Rich Eisen Show here on NBC Sports on Peacock and also NBC Sports Audio on SiriusXM. We're back here on the Rich Eisen Show terrestrial radio outfit. Joining us here, LeSean McCoy on the Rich Eisen Show. So, what is Bruce Arians telling everybody right now? Now that you know what it's like playing for him, what do you think's going on with Arians there right now?
I think with BA's an excellent coach. I was so surprised how well of a coach he was. I heard a lot of great things about him. So one thing about him is he also makes challenges, right? And I think when he makes his challenges, he's a lot more serious. He's a lot more direct. One thing about BA, man, is that I love is he's a coach that he doesn't hide his emotions, doesn't hide his thoughts or feelings. He's straight up. His feelings is on the table, and I'm sure he's telling his guys right now, hey, man, it's a big challenge. The Rams are talked about. They did a lot of changes and additions in the offseason to be where they're at right now. So the defensive line, you got to step up, make Stafford uncomfortable. And then offense. Hey, man, you got some guys down. Some guys are hurt. You got the best quarterback and the best player to ever play the game in Tom Brady. So what are you guys going to do?
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.